Hello Libra, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. If Libra is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please leave a comment, hit the like button, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And wow. Very nice. 6 of Cups. Beautiful energy. Very harmonious. Very connected. Really resonating with the world around us. That's beautiful. That's really a very nice card. Let's put that into some context. We have a lot of depth of emotion here. This is good. This is really beautiful here. I like this a lot. See what else we have. A lot more water. Wow, I really think this is kind of the moment that everything changes, right? Because we're putting in a lot of this activity, but we're getting the clarity that we need, the clarity of purpose. We're getting the feeling of it, you know? And I think that we are kind of supercharged to go after our goals, and we get to this eon, this judgment, this rebirth at the end. This is that doorway. It's through this door that is the rest of your life, right? Your future is just beyond this door here. That's really, really nice. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is one card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. And we're just going to select it randomly. We're going to put Mr. Ed right there on top. And hopefully that card will, tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. Now, with that card, we're doing something a little bit special, a little bit more interactive. So if at any point during the reading you get an idea of what that card is, if you feel like you can sense what that card's going to be, leave a comment in the comment section with your answer, with your, not your guess, but your, your inspiration, your idea, And if you don't want to play along, that's fine. At the end of the reading, we'll go ahead and have a moment of stillness where we can all try to collectively raise our vibrations, collectively tap in to our intuition, and see if we can discern that mystery card. I feel like that's a good exercise for us as a community to try to build up our connections, build up that kind of psychic sense, if you will. And I bet you over time, if you play along, over time, you'll find that more and more often you start to get that card correct, right? First things first, let's take a look at the overview. Major Arcana. Do we have any? Well, we only have this. This is really the beginning here, right? This is the Eon, the Judgment card. This is the Baptism by Fire. This is the rebirth, the reawakening. You're being summoned to your future self, and this is really a tremendous shift in energies for you. This is going to be a big doorway that we have to go through. And I think all of the other cards here are supporting characters. All of these are leading you towards this. All of these cards are signs and symbols and synchronicities that say, yes, it's time to make this decision. See, we can't go through this door without taking the conscious step forward, without making the decision. Because once we go through that, the door closes. There's no going backwards. Okay? Now, we have some fire energy. We have quite a bit of this water energy. Quite a bit of the water. And I think the water is going to be the most involved energy, right? Because there's the most of it. There's just a little bit of air. On this channel, when I talk about manifesting our goals, our dreams, our life, it's usually a fire to earth kind of thing, right? The pure spirit of fire and the solid manifestation in matter, right? It's a direct creation. What gets in the way of that is our heart and our mind, our thinking and our feeling, right? The water and the air. So we have a lot of water. I see that the biggest obstacle might be your water energy. I don't think your air energy, I don't think your logical, rational mind is going to cause any friction to this manifestation, right? Because we have the Ace of Swords here. Very clear thinking. You're very determined, very decided. There's no vacillation. There's no waffling. There's no going back and forth about it. You're very clear in what you want. You're very clear in the way forward. You have this kind of enlightened mind where you seem to be able to perceive the path clearly, right? And the path really is going through this doorway, which then we have this earth energy. We have the Nine of Pentacles and the Princess of Discs. And this is true manifestation. This is understanding that we can manifest anything and everything that we want. This card is infinite manifestation. And this is us actually generating that, achieving that, seeing the visible signs of progress here with this Nine of Pentacles. So we're trying to really take our fire, go through this doorway, manifest our best life, but we just have to process some of this water energy in order to kind of, as they say, make up your mind about things. I think your mind is made up. I think we just need to get our heart on board, right? So we've got the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is asking you, what do you really want? What kind of life do you want to manifest that is going to have the most divine connection, right? That's going to feel the most like a blessing, right? Because the Six is a reflective card. The Six is, well, for the one, it's all about the heart, right? It's about it's about feeling in your heart that you are doing the work that is a reflection from above. Because really, the Six is a reflection of the Ace. And the Ace is that pure spirit. In this case, the Ace might be this Ace of Swords, right? And it's above everything. So I think this is the truth. This is your connection with deity, with divinity. This is you knowing God's will, Goddess's will, Spirit's will, the will of Source, your true will, whatever you want to call it. You know the divine plan. And now you're trying to feel it in your heart that you are a reflection of that you are living a life that is a reflection of this. And you don't have to be religious to feel this way, We could look at it as the will of the universe, the will of your own higher mind, higher self, true self, your conscience, ancestors, whatever you choose to call it. I think we want to feel like we are a living reflection of that. Yeah. So this is the Six of Cups asking you, what kind of life do you want? Right? How does this potential feel going through this doorway with this Judgment, this Eon card? Is that going to be a way for you to manifest this Six of Cups then into the realm of matter? Right? See, we have the Ace reflected into the Six. The Six is then reflected here into this Nine. And here we have it again. 3, 6, 9. So this is a mirror image. They're all reflections of the other, different octaves, a higher rung, whatever you want to say. It feels to me like going through this doorway is the right decision. It feels like that is going to be a very, very positive reflection of this spiritual energy. And I think that's what you're feeling. I think that's why we have a Six of Cups here, because you do feel in your heart that you are prepared, that you are in harmony with this, I don't know what you want to call it, spiritual will, your true will, divine will, with this plan, And I think that we are nearly prepared for that, but there is always a little bit of caution. We have a Queen of Cups here, and this is kind of the last thing that you need to do before you can go through this doorway. And this is really to take a deeper look at yourself. Okay? With the Queen of Cups here, there's there's different levels, there's different depths, right? There's the surface level, which is really just a reflection, right? Can't really see too far down beneath the surface where there's a lot of light from above and it's just a reflection. So that is sometimes us seeing what we want to see in ourselves, or what we expect, or what others expect of us, right? It's just being reflected back. There is the next kind of layer, which is a shallow layer, but at least we're under the surface now, you know. And these, I think, are our basic wants and needs, basic desires, right? And sometimes we may mistake these rather shallow depth desires for what we really, really want, what our true kind of spiritual pleasure is, right? What we really, truly want and need in our lives. So this card's asking you to try to lift the veil and do some of that emotional depth work, right? To really understand the implications of going through this doorway, of making this big change in your life. Because again, like I said, this is a decision that we have to make. Going through this doorway may not immediately feel all that great, right? It's a doorway of fire, after all. So there may be some surface level emotions here that kind of say, oh, wait, what have I done? You know, it may be a little difficult, some growing pains, right? There's always some difficulty at the beginning of something until we get into the habit of it, we get into the routine, it starts to kind of grow, we get more comfortable. So this is a card that kind of wants you to prepare yourself for what may be a kind of delayed gratification, right? We may have to really understand that our surface, our shallow depth emotions may not enjoy this right away, but we're doing it for a deeper purpose. And the deepest purpose that we have, I think, is whatever this ace and this 3 represent for you. And look, we have an ace of cups over here. So this is almost what we're fishing for down here in the depths. We're deep sea fishing here. We're not surface level. We're not shallow depth fishing with this Queen of Cups. We're looking for the ace that is as far down in this Queen of Cups as we can get. So this is the really essential part of yourself, your essential meaning and purpose in your life. If we can find that, if we can simplify it, because see, these aces are about simplification. Getting back to source, resolving the multiplicity into a unity. A unity of thinking, a unity of feeling, and then the unity of the two of them together. Okay? And I think we're achieving that. I think you're discovering in the simplest word or phrase that you can come up with, what is your truth and what is your purpose? What is the meaning of your life? What is the purpose of your life? And now we're ready to get this fire energy involved and really blast off through this doorway. And this is amazing. This is going to be good, right? The 3 of Wands back here in the recent past, this is telling me that you've had experiences like this before, where you were ready to make a big shift, a big change in your life, but there was something that wasn't quite aligned. Now, with the 3 of Wands, it's usually our thinking, our feeling, and our doing. Right? The 3 virtues have to be in line. If the heart and the mind are not in the unity, then it's not going to work. If the body is somehow not ready to do this, it's not going to happen. You need all 3 of these wands to be unified, because this is the Trinity that is the unity, right? The 3 is essentially the ace, the source. So this, in a way, represents an ace of wands, if you will. But it's manifesting, it's expanding on that ace, for that unity to be there, that unity of will and intention and action. If we're going to do this, it's a kind of a guarantee, right? We will do this. Not maybe, not we might, Not we're thinking about it, we are doing it. We need to have all three of those aligned, right? Thinking, feeling, and doing. Well, here we have thinking, we have feeling, and we just need the doing, right? We just need to get started with the doing. Maybe that is, maybe that's subtly being implied here, that we're not too sure about the physical part of it yet. Our heart and mind are in it, but then our body just kind of says, well, maybe we have to wait a minute, but we'll work our way through the rest of the cards. Maybe the mystery card has something to say about that. We'll see. I see underneath everything here with the Prince of Wands that you're ready to do this, that you already are starting to put plans together. This is some fixed fire energy. This is a real kind of Leo energy here, where you are already making plans. You're already getting things organized. You have basically already started, just not officially yet. And I think this is very good energy to have, but this is, there's a shadow side here, right? Because we could get stuck in this planning and preparation phase, but never execute, right? And that's where the body kind of, and maybe it's a little bit, when the body is out of whack, the mind and the heart kind of get out of their unity too, right? That's why we need the three to be working harmoniously, because they'll affect the others. If your body is not completely in it, there's a little hesitation. Maybe that's a hesitation in our heart. Maybe that starts to cause a little bit of overthinking in the mind. See, it's all connected because it's a unity. So we want to be careful not to get stuck in the planning stages, the preparation of it, right? We then need to execute. And I think that this is where we need a little bit more of that earth energy to get us started. We need really we need an ace, maybe a 3 of Pentacles would be really helpful right now. I'm hoping for the mystery card here. But in the future, we got the 9 of Pentacles. So as soon as we're ready to get started, we're gonna see the progress, right? It's going to start really changing things in a way that is measurable and visible to you. So what I mean is you're going to start to see the benefits right away, right? And I don't know what this change is. I don't know what's on the other side of the doorway. What I'm seeing is you standing on the threshold of this doorway. I don't know what is beyond it. If you know, maybe you leave some comments if you want to share. But I can't see what's beyond that doorway, at least not right now. I can see you standing on the threshold of it, getting all your stuff together, right? Or getting everything organized, but we haven't opened the door yet and walked through, okay? So it could be a career move, could be a big life change. It could be something in your spiritual work, your creative work, your family, your love life, I don't know. But it's a big deal. This is the moment when you're on that threshold and one step forward, everything changes, okay? And you're going to see the benefits of it right away. You're going to see that things start going your way. There's going to be progress made, okay? So I think that immediately is going to counterbalance some of what I said earlier about there's always a little bit of difficulty right at the beginning. We're trying to get organized, trying to get things going. And we might start to think, oh, maybe this wasn't a good idea. I think that feeling is going to be abated very quickly because you're going to see right away progress, gains, a lot of benefits from this big shift, this big move. Okay. So any doubts that may arise right at first are going to quickly disappear. Okay. Now, moving to the path of the serpent, we've got a 10 of cups here. And the 10 of cups is, well, it's interesting because it's the end, but it's also the beginning. And we have a beginning here, right? We have a 10 and we have a 1, essentially. And we know the 10 is just basically a return to the unity, but on a higher level. So I'm wondering if this is kind of what's going on with you, of why. Maybe this is the why. Why we're making this big change. I think whatever area of your life you're in now, I think that it was intensely rewarding. I think that you feel intensely fulfilled by your life as it is, but we're looking for the next level up, right? We're looking to continue the spiral up one more rung, right? To resonate at the next highest octave. Yeah. So I don't feel like we're escaping anything. I don't feel like we're running from anything. I feel like we're very satisfied with what we've accomplished, and now we're ready for more, right? So the 10, I think, is really our feeling like I've gotten everything out of this situation that I can. It's time for me to transcend. It's time for me to take this next huge leap, perhaps, into my future, right? And there's always a little bit of sadness in a situation like that, because you have a very fond memory of this current situation. It was very rewarding and very fulfilling. But in order for you to be an accurate reflection of yourself, of your will, your aspirations, the kind of life that you want to lead, the Six of Cups, it's not just about being a reflection of our kind of divine will. This is the active living of the kind of life that we want. Right? It's a reflection above and below, but also a reflection inward and outward. Right? It's right in the center of the cross. And in this reading, it is literally in the center of this cross, on the path of the dove here. So it really is a reflection both above and below. Inside and outside is going to be a reflection of you, of your highest, truest will, which are these aces, right? The meaning and purpose of your life as simply and as purely as you know them. And for you to continue doing this work, we have to then say, okay, this was really good. I enjoyed this. I got everything that I could out of this. This is a situation that now has kind of run its course. It's maybe you've stayed with this company a long time, and there's just nowhere left for you to go. You've kind of reached the highest level in this current company, and it's time for you to then take the next step, right? Kind of up the ladder. This might not be a career thing. It could be anything. But we see the ace as the very next card. Obviously, this is the environment. And as far as this position goes, it's time for a new beginning. It's time for you to start something new that's going to be, again, on that higher rung. That's going to be a deeper and more pure expression of your highest, deepest self and your most pure spiritual will. Right? It's time for us to then continue on a new path, or the next level of the current path, or however you want to look at it, in order to continue living a Six of Cups life. The next card is the Princess of Pentacles. This is infinite manifestation. This is basically the universe or the world card, now fully manifested. Right? Fully manifested. So the possibilities are endless. And this is kind of this is the card we don't want, or this is the obstacle, that sort of thing. And this might be just the overwhelming environment that we're in. Usually this card, it has such wonderful, positive, light qualities. But we might be looking at a little bit of the shadow side of it right now. That we are trying to overcome any kind of materialism or attachment or expectation. This is kind of a card, this is a very expectant card, right? That we feel like we've been promised a lot, and we're gonna collect on these promises, So we're trying to overcome, I think, expectations of what success is going to look like. Yeah. And this is interesting because it's the Princess of Discs. It's like the best card in the tarot deck. You're going to receive abundance, but you don't want to be so attached to the abundance that you lose sight of these aces, of the connection that we have. This is the true kind of purpose behind all of it. that we get so wrapped up in the material wealth and the abundance and the progress of it all, the physical, manifestations, that we start mistaking that for the goal. That's just the byproduct of our work, right? It's not the goal of it. It's just something that happens when we're doing our best work, living our best life, being our best self. The physical success is just kind of a bonus, So I think this is why this is the obstacle. And also I feel like this is us trying to overcome the Ten of Cups a little bit, because maybe the Ten of Cups has become something very familiar. Maybe it is something that is here now around us, and we're abandoning that to take this big leap into the future, into the unknown, into the sort of chaos, potentially, that we have to get over this. And this is the temptation to say, hey, you've got all of this stuff now. Are you really willing to sacrifice all of that and this Ten of Cups to go and do this new thing? And that, I think, is where the body, because it's the earth energy, where we need that ace or 3 or something of pentacles here to show that our body is in line with our heart and our mind, and we're ready to say, okay, if I have to start from the bottom, I will, because I'm on a higher plane now. I'm on the higher octave. I still might have to start over from the beginning, or a beginning, but it's on a higher level. It might be a bit of a sacrifice at first, right? We might have to get over this here, this earth energy, and take our leap into the future here. So whatever is beyond this is literally a new era for you. And yes, it is a new beginning. Everything is going to change. That means that your environment, your abundance, your material surroundings might change. And that's going to be a bit difficult at first for the physical body. The physical body, I don't know if you know this, really likes comfort, right? Really likes to have its desires filled. Doesn't like hardship, doesn't like struggle. That's why we have to force ourselves to exercise, and we have to go to a gym and do all this stuff. I think any animal, you give them an abundance of, and I'm not saying humans are animals or are just animals. I don't want to get into that debate. Any creature, any living thing, you give it an abundance of what it likes, and it's going to fight you when you try to take it away. Okay? And I think that's kind of what we're talking about here and why this card's in this position. This is usually a very positive card, and it still is. But in order to go through this doorway, we're going to have to deal with that physical energy. Okay, let's look at the mystery card now. And this is the point in the reading where I'm going to ask everyone to try to connect with these energies, with these images. Let's collectively raise our vibrations. Let's collectively tap into our intuition, into spirit, into source, and see if we can figure out this mystery card. Thank you, Mr. Ed. And if you want to play along, just when you get a feeling for it, put your answer in the comment section. If you don't want to play along, or if you're driving or whatever, that's fine too. So I'll switch the cameras here. We'll have a brief moment of stillness. If you want to pause the video, go ahead. I'll have a sip of my peach tea here. All right. You know my vote. I'm thinking this has to be some earth energy, something to show that we're unified in our thinking, our feeling, and our doing, right? That everybody's on board, right? All levels of ourselves are on board with this big shift, this major change. So I'm expecting an ace. I mean, an ace would be just sweet. But anything in the higher rungs of the earth, a 2, a 3, not so much a 4, a 5 would be all right. But an ace, a 2, a 3. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay. All right. We got it. A 2 of pentacles is good. This might show that we're kind of vacillating a little bit as far as the physical stuff goes. That we're ready to do it, but we're still a little bit, that Princess of Pentacles is kind of tempting us to stay put, right? It's hard to to wrestle that kind of thing away from ourselves, right? But I think we're doing it. And the Two of Pentacles it's about change. It's usually a harmonious change. So I think that this is representing us convincing the body to come along too. So I think this is us moving from the reluctance of the body to then achieving the unity that we need with these, right? I think we're shifting from a disunity, a disharmony. We're getting the body in line. We're convincing ourselves to go ahead and do this, right? So I think this is it. This is the moment where we finally just kind of get a handle on our physical selves and say, we're going right now. Let's go. You know, we might have to drag ourselves kicking and screaming, but we're going. Yeah. This is going to be very good. It's going to be a very positive change. Really is. We're going to do an extended reading too, Libra. If you want to stick around, click either above or below in the description box. New readings for Libra come out every Wednesday and Saturday at 6 a.m. Chicago time. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. I want to thank you for watching this reading all the way through until the end. It really does help out the algorithm. That in turn helps out the channel here, and I appreciate that. I want to thank you for being here, and thank you so much for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.